Ah, friend. My expression wasn't much better than yours when I first saw this. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's her. The famous singer, Robin. Well, first of all, can I just say that this had nothing to do with me? I'm just an unlucky bystander here. The family can testify for me. If you don't believe me, just ask anyone in the Bloodhound family. They hate me and they hate the IPC, so they'd never lie. This is not where the crime happened. What I showed you was a memory. The most basic light cone manifesting tech. Authorized by the Garden of Recollection and owned by the IPC. Did you really think the Galaxy Rangers were outsiders this whole time? Penacony has made a solemn commitment to protect the safety of anyone inside a family dream. Any person in distress will be forcibly awakened and safely returned to reality. What gives them the confidence to make such conclusive statements? Because behind this promise is the harmony. The family's Dreamweavers link up their minds together to construct an unbreakable defensive line. Breaking through this line of defense to create death in the dreamscape. Not even a memo keeper could do that without the family's permission. Who could have done it, friend? The only one is her. The girl who calls herself a Galaxy Ranger. An imposter. An unsought guest. An emanator who hides her true identity. Ifrit's death was a foregone conclusion. And Robin? Her misfortune was staring right at her. Who will be the next to die? It's fine. Listen to your gut. Building trust always takes time, and I'm willing to wait. I just hope you realize that wherever that legacy is concerned, covert plans are already underway throughout Penacony. Everyone's got their own agenda. Careful you don't get stuck on the wrong side. If I were you, I'd keep my distance from Acheron. After all, any schemes out in the open are always going to be better than a monster in the shadows, right?
Who's to say there isn't an even deeper conspiracy lurking beneath the surface?
Memo Keeper, I think our little deal is finished.
Aventurine is telling the truth. This memory is a real one, and there's no sign of any distortion.
The IPC is not the Garden. And there are real limits to what they can actually do. Friend, let's not beat around the bush here. The thing is, I want to reach out personally to team up with the Astral Express. I told you, I'm just not interested in scrambling for the legacy. I just came to Penacony for work. I'm here to retrieve some lost property for the IPC, if you catch my drift. I'm talking ownership of this. This has all become a bad debt thanks to the cancer of all worlds. The IPC has tried sitting down for negotiations time and again, but the family wouldn't even take our calls. You have no idea how difficult these people are to deal with. Put it this way. They've hushed up the existence of death before, so they can definitely cover up any news about Robin's death. It'll just quietly float off like a bubble and pop. Nobody ever being the wiser. That's not fair, right? So... That's fine. But I'm really not asking for much, so why don't you... I have but only one goal. The family's front door is like a high wall, and to tear the whole thing down, I'll have to dig out a few chunks first. Now we have our chance. So long as we can get to the truth behind her death, we can have justice for Robin. While also gaining a valuable bargain, truly a once-in-a-blue-moon opportunity. I've been investigating. This tragic news would be extremely bad for the family. So they'll be doing but I trust that there are still a few factions that remain exceptions. And that's why I need you all. The reputation, you get to find out really what happened and seek justice. And I get to put it toward... Don't worry, just head back and talk things over with your companion. That navigator is really smart. She must understand the value of this deal. Look, here's my contact details. Oh, and take this. So long, friend. I really am looking forward to uncovering the truth about death with everyone.
Aventurine just sauntered off. He really doesn't...
What now? What a
Black Swan.
On the surface, this doesn't look like a bad deal for you. But Aventurine is a shrewd merchant whose scheme won't just be... He doesn't know about Miss Firefly yet. But, judging by your reaction, he may have noticed something go... That's quick thinking and very sound logic. But you're talking about real. Anyway, be careful out there. There's more than one way to blaze a trail. As for the other question, I'm not sure the two cases were committed by the same culprit, but that massive wound. Look, plus, it seems unlikely that there would be two lethal entities. Sorry, I can't answer that question. That ranger, but without a doubt, she is the most special guest at this banquet. Two victims appearing one after the other in a very short time span. Two possibilities. The collapse of Penacony's dreamscape has started speeding up, making death extremely agitated. If someone has chosen these victims deliberately, first a smuggler, then a family celeb. It's all happened so quickly, I can only make conjecture. Come, this way. It's a short walk. Don't get lost. This way. This is... Unfortunately, the remembrance doesn't lie. But follow your heart, and don't be afraid. Hold on just a sec. There you go. A small parting gift. If one day you I also pay great attention to the ways of the world. Then... I've something private to take care of. What fascinating memories will you bring for me next time we meet? I sincerely look forward.
A family rep. Is Himiko okay?
Isn't this a dream?
So much has happened.
Better unsheath that blade now, Ranger.
Do you still dream, Hunter? Of those slain by your hand?
It appears the outcome has already been determined.
We're still alive. We still have room to make a choice. Leave the music box behind, and then go.
Choice. The bloody trail of the destruction leaves no room for hesitation.
The Taurus Fire Demon. Even if you sacrifice your life for that Eon, you won't get
Stranger, you tread the narrow path of the hunt. You could never understand. We come from the fire, and are born bathed in fire. We spread, burn, and destroy, until all that keeps burning forms the entire life of a fire demon.
Your companions don't seem to think so. They fight for your chance at survival.
They are my children, and just as I was, but my flames are faint, and time is running out. Can you see the...
Why?
Because on the path they have forged, you have traveled far, Emanator. You cannot hide your true identity. Destruction is intense, but brief. To cravenly cling to life is to endure an endlessly prolonged existence.
Even if the answer turns out to be your own destruction.
What is important is not the answer, but that it exists, just as you exist. Just as even sweet dreams may be born of the void, the so-called impossible is merely something that has yet to happen.
All right.
You shall witness the most brilliant and intense
A bottomless dream. This blade remains in its scabbard not out of pity or scorn. It's a personal secret that... I'll reveal the truth to you. The hunt is not the path I truly follow. May death be the end of your boundless dream, guiding you back to the waking world. I still see them in my dreams. Hold it. Your time hasn't come yet.
my time.
I've seen many clever disguises that can conceal appearances. They can never cover up who a person really is. You had no desire to kill the Trailblazer. You only did what you did to drive me and the Memo Keeper away, but... why? Did Destiny's slave make you do it?
You know, Elio.
I thought this is just the kind of thing that'd get written into your script.
My script
has always been brief. Other than that, anything beyond that is unnecessary. He knows my nature. There is but a single destiny from which no one can escape. And until then, I hold the privilege of choice. However, you appear to be ignorant of this, so it's time for me to inquire. Who exactly are you?
Not your enemy, perhaps.
That's not what I asked.
I don't deserve your curiosity. Loners wandering the cosmos always have their secrets. Take me. I'm wanted by the IPC, so it's little wonder that I know something about the Stellaron Hunters. That's all. Maybe I can help.
What reason would you have for doing that?
I tend to forget things. Which is why, rather than memories, I'm accustomed to using my emotions to capture what I normally wouldn't otherwise. So, I know who is inside that cold armor. How about it? Ready to take off that armor and sit down for a talk?
It's not yet time. I don't need help, but I can give you a suggestion that would make things better for you and me. If your goal is the Watchmaker's legacy, then go look into the family. Not only are they covering up the existence of death, but they're burying the past and the truth about what happens inside the dreamscape.
Already on it.
And the Astral Express is no enemy of yours.
I know that. I just never expected to hear you say it. What's next, then? The Trailblazer's been taken by Black Swan. Will you go look for her?
No need for that. No harm in mentioning that Elio's only given me one instruction. Get all of the Astral Express to track down the Grand Legacy. I tried settling this in an easier and more direct way, but as you can see, here I am, confronting you.
The so-called impossible is merely something that has yet to happen. That's it. Before we split, can I ask you one more thing? Is there anything else in your script about me? I'd like to know what kind of...
Unfortunately, not a thing came up.
I knew it.
Hang on. I... don't.
Don't. What?
Your first question was... do you still have dreams about... I don't. Never have. I was born without the ability to dream. I live for the... So... I really envy you.
Is that so? Then you're already living in the waking world.
We heard about Miss Firefly from Black Swan.
I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you then.
Reality cruises on in serenity, while undercurrents bubble up from the dreamscape. Just like that memo keeper said. Stay strong, everyone. We can still do what we can for them. Starting with finding the murderer.
Let's recap everything then. The Trailblazer just reminded me of something. March, do you remember?
Indeed, we trust that the Nameless has nothing to do with this. And we also beg each of you to help assist the family in...
Looking back, he seemed a little evasive at the time. And he also...
The family's planning on covering up all news about Miss Robin's death.
But the murder that followed closely after was obviously beyond their anticipation. The family had to try and turn things to their advantage by bringing in reinforcements from outside.
It may also be that Miss Firefly's murder had so many witnesses that it couldn't be covered up. So, after all, the nature of the two murders is fundamentally different. The family's first protective measure should be against malicious actors among the guests, such as that IPC envoy.
Indeed, he was particularly concerned about that Galaxy Ranger.
Are we missing the forest for the trees here? I always felt that Aventurine's reasons for accusing Miss Acheron were...
At this point, I'm afraid the only...
Look, let's try to gather intel first and then list all the possible outcomes we can. Then we go through them, eliminating I've still got this sense of foreboding. It's like we're stuck in a whirlpool.
This time we're playing the role of a real detective. But
As I see things, the family harbors no ill will towards the Astral Express. If they didn't trust the crew, they wouldn't have casually commissioned outsiders to investigate a case that's, in all likelihood, a scandal. Plus, this is the family's turf. Teaming up. As for that Aventurine...
He's complex. He deliberately slow-played his hand during negotiations. He appealed convincingly to both reason and emotion. It wasn't forced, but still, it's good to have contacts among all this uncertainty. Aventurine showed we also need to keep a certain distance from the family. Never let them get too close. Teaming up with the IPC...
So, you suggest...
Yes. It's risky, but we can only wait until both sides have played their card.
I get why. But there's a whole lot of bad guys and girls around here. And I'm worried about getting stabbed in the back. She's been bullied a few times now, and I can't... You're like... forget about it. Just let me keep an eye on him. If that doesn't work...
Then, could you please reply to Aventurine? Looks like Aventurine is happy with this outcome. Let's tell everyone about it. Aventurine's goal is to try and recapture Penacony for IPC. To do this, he'll have to bring... The existence of death will be covered up by the family. So how does he plan on taking... He's definitely going for the family, and... An attack on the hotel guests? Unlikely. Aventurine has devoted considerable attention to her. I'm just speculating. He's clearly a born gambler if he's...
Aventurine said something that he accused that Galaxy Ranger of killing Robin without any evidence whatsoever, but said nothing about it. Was a groundless accusation, which... Maybe Aventurine's goal was never to gain our trust. Maybe he wanted to foster a... However, I asked Don Hung back on the Express to confirm that story about the... You've met her many times now. What's your impression? That fits the stereotype of a Galaxy Ranger. They're eccentric, unpredictable, and whatever happens,
Checked off the list.
I hope it's not too soon to bring it up. But I feel like... because... aren't we supposed to be inside a dream? Whenever I see the green... Yeah, of course. At times like this, we're so lucky. Everyone's still having a great time out there on the streets. Nobody knows. Aw, what a mess. But...
looks like Aventurine doesn't need anything else. Let's turn our attention to the family's assignment.
Among our current clues, the two murders that she witnessed are the most directly connected. One thing I'm curious about is, if a person dies in a dream, what happens to them in real life? Seeing it...
How about we split off into two groups? There are still some things worth focusing on inside the dreamscape. I'll investigate those, and we can...
Worth focusing on?
Huh? Aw, I thought I'd finally get to see Himeko and Mr. Yang go out on a mission.
I will. Honored guest, could you come out for a second?
I'd be embarrassed too, getting stared at like that.
Forgive me. My name is Welt Yang. I'm one of the crew members on the Astral...
Welt.
Is there something about my name?
First, don't you want to know my name?
I already do, Miss Acheron. You're a prominent figure in Penacony.
What are they saying about me?
Some claim that you're the real culprit behind these murders, that the Annihilation Gang's tragic fate at the banquet was a result of your blade.
The Annihilation Gang.
Ifrit of Everflame Mansion.
Tragic fate. That Duke turned his dying body to flames and sacrificed his life as a martyr. He was a determined and heroic pathstrider. Not even a villain should be disparaged like this. And what's more, there were plenty of suspects invited. Do they really think that a blade is more dangerous than that black hole you're wielding?
Keen intuition. Not even the family managed to point out the truth behind this cane. So you must surely know, Miss Acheron, that peering into a black hole is not a wise move. As a potential threat, your knowledge of us has reached uncomfortable depth. Reveal your true identity and intentions. Otherwise, brace yourself for gravitational disintegration.
That shouldn't be necessary. But if it makes the Nameless feel less defensive. Believe it or not, Galaxy Ranger, Acheron. Those are the names I go by to this very day. My trip to Penacony is solely to fulfill an old, final request. I'm here for the Watchmaker's legacy. And that's it. I think I've been honest enough.
Still unwilling to reveal you?
It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I can't. I've come so far, and I can't sum up all of that in just a few words. Everyone has their own unspeakable past. Secrets that they don't want to be revealed. And I won't be asking any more questions, such as why the Astral Express is roaming around the cosmos with a Stellaron on board. Is she okay? That memo keeper didn't do anything, right?
She's fine. Let's just stick with the topic. Gaining my trust depends on how much you're willing to reveal.
I've run around many different Penacony dreamscapes just to try and find that legacy. And during this period, I came into contact with quite a few guests. In the process, I gradually came to realize the secret of Penacony may be closely related to the Trailblaze. That's why I've come to ask for your help. I don't have enough proof yet, but I'd like to speculate something. The source of all tragedy lies within the family. If you could trust me, we could find the proof to support this Mr. Yang, I think you've come to the same.
Let's leave it at that. For now, I'll share your findings with me and me alone. I don't want vague conjecture to interfere with other people's judgments before we find solid proof.
Mm-hmm. By the way, would you like something to drink? Before we go, how about 2 cups of Wake the Heck Up? No, because the conversation coming up will last forever.
I've been watching her closely for a while now, and the first invitation was in the banquet hall of the hotel. She just sat in one corner, keeping silent, chugging down a couple cups of Wake the Heck Up. I told her it's a pungent, bitter beverage, not the taste of...
Really? But I don't taste any different.
The guest rooms are charmingly minimalist, an aesthetic you share, Miss Acheron. It's a cinch, this music box. The invitation received by the Annihilation. You see, memories of you are not yours alone. They travel in other people, other things. I know much, and I can predict even more. The Annihilation Gang, that band of desperados who all disappeared after meeting you. What exactly happened to them? Well...
Gradation 12.
Well done, Dubra. Wherever they go, shall be met by annihilation.
There it is. It's hazy, but it's Ifrit's voice. The other one is probably his progeny. This is the residual memory from when the invitation was first delivered. They were abruptly interrupted. Then, what happened next is...
They sought refuge in a land of sleep, merely wishing for undisturbed rest. O children of the flame!
She won't be necessary. I alone am enough.
The Everflame Mansion has set out on a journey. Those poor people, they have no idea what lies in wait ahead of them. Memory recovery is going well, but slowly. She'll be here soon, and time is short. There's nobody else here, so there's no need to be delicate. What happened? The memory after that is blank. How is that possible? This music box fell into Acheron's hands, and she brought it to Penacony. That's a fact. It's like it's been erased.
Who are you? Who are you?
It's... No.
Oh, a memo keeper. Do you serve the Garden of Recollection? Or the Cremators? My name is Constance. A pleasure to meet you. We were supposed to meet in Penacony and spend an unforgettable time together. But that seems unrealistic. Dahlia's not welcome on the banquet star, and I don't need a coming-of-age ceremony. And you? I know what you're looking for. Want her secret? I can give it to you, and then you can enjoy the banquet for me. I wish you unforgettable memories.
Oh. A phone. Wanna listen in?
A few days ago, the IPC made under the watchful guidance of the Marketing Development Department, and in accordance with the Interstellar Peace Charter, the formation of the Sigonian sovereignty is of great historical significance to the Sigonias.
Sigonia 4 is located in an unclaimed zone at the intersection of the Denise. This is why very few intelligent species have made this planet their home, dividing themselves into several tribes to eke out nomad lifestyles as they struggle to survive the arid desert wilderness.
Sigonia. Sigonia. Ravenous eye of the storm. Land of rock, but not water. Lightning, but not rain. Blood, but not tea. You promised us a land of honey, yet yoked us beneath. When you took his father, my child was still sleeping in my belly. I don't ask for a peaceful death. Otherwise...
Mommy! Mommy! It is raining! It's true! Those Outworlders weren't lying to us.
Darling, listen. Such a lucky child. And your schemes.
Oh, heavens. I must have drunk too much Soul Glad.
Just as you guessed. Nobody outside knows about Robin's death. There aren't even baseless conspiracy theories. They're still streaming the rehearsal for her ceremony.
Of course. Who could imagine that death would actually descend upon the idyllic dream created by the family? Let alone, to be honest with you, I didn't believe it. I even tested it a few times myself. Until I discovered that I couldn't actually die. Well, that's why I'm convinced that there are a few...
Then you must have heard about the Memory Zone meme. When I graciously deigned to establish connections with the Oak family on your behalf, besides Robin, there was another body.
2 murder cases? I told you something seemed off about the Nameless. Oh, she must have come across the other one. This murderer is a psycho. But I have to admit, the case should be easy to crack. We can it's just that their trickery runs deeper than I thought. Robin's stand-in was all ready to go. What should we do?
Incredible gambler. Have you already exhausted your...
There are plenty of chips, but it'd be best to choose... Robin is what she calls the mute. She has lost her voice, and while most people can't pick up on it, you and I cannot mistake that sound. If that girl hadn't gone hoarse from singing practice, there'd only be one possibility. Something was up with the... But she died.
A complete and utter loss. There were eyewitnesses at the scene, and the family, in their graciousness, has tended...
Well, things aren't looking too optimistic, Doctor. I'm starting to break out in a cold sweat.
A probability. But if you simply can't control yourself and want to try your hand, then there just so happens to be a suitable candidate. That man wants to see you again.
Who?
Sunday.
Is this a public hearing or a
If it were the former, it would hardly befit my stature to...
Fine. Well, that's great. Ratio, I'm convinced now that there must be something wrong inside the family. Oh, just you wait and see. Well, without any further ado, let's set off.
We're here. The Dewlight Pavilion is the Oak family's fortress and a...
Fortress?
This mansion nominally belongs to Sunday, and is very befitting of its owner.
Hey, Doc, whose side are you on?
Who's to say I won't sell you out?
We'll see. When we meet the authoritarian master of the Oak family, I'll
Follow me and I'll bring you to his parlor. Hold your tongue.
Hey, you two! That's a plate.
I was requested.
Oh, I remember you. Veritas Ratio.
Excuse me?
The one on your head. Of course.
Right, and as I...
That's because you can't see it.
It seems like the idiocy index here is no...
a dead end.
The door is shut tight. Looks like...
I mean, there isn't.
For security reasons, the family built the administrative site deep in the dreamscape. On the previous occasion...
Well, maybe we should do the same. This is hardly enough for a seat at the table.
I shall be the judge.
On the still waters of oblivion, I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Recount.
Destined for oblivion.
Ill fate descends.
I shall be the judge. The Ten Lords' decree, hereby ordained.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Ill tidings manifest.
On the still waters of oblivion.
A reward with no risk? I'll take it.
Recount.
Destined for oblivion.
Ill fate descends!
Oh, the big...
Beneath the waters lies an endless abyss!
I shall be the judge.
On the still waters of oblivion.
No dirty tricks.
Ill tidings manifest!
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Recount. The Ten Lords' decree, hereby ordained.
Destined for oblivion.
Ill fate descends!
Spend freely. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
I shall be the judge.
Ill tidings manifest! Beneath the waters lies an endless abyss!
Recount.
On the still waters of oblivion.
Ill fate descends!
I shall be the judge. The Ten Lords' decree, hereby ordained.
Destined for oblivion. Again. All in.
Ill tidings manifest!
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Recount.
It's on me.
So familiar. Again.
Watch your head. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Ill fate descends! Beneath the waters lies an endless abyss!
I shall be the judge.
On the still waters of oblivion.
Spend freely.
The Ten Lords' decree, hereby ordained.
Destined for oblivion.
Recount.
Ill tidings manifest!
On the still waters of oblivion. All in.
I shall be the judge.
Ill fate descends!
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Recount. The Ten Lords' decree, hereby ordained.
Again. All will eventually.
Watch your head. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Beneath the waters lies an endless abyss!
I shall be the judge.
Fortune follows luck, just like it always does.
Six nightingales facing in different directions. An obvious hint.
But are these nightingales?
They are. What's wrong?
How can nightingales be so huge? They look more like torment eagles to me.
There are no eagles in the five families, only nightingales.
Just as I thought.
A truly miraculous discovery. Perhaps
Really?
I was being sarcastic.